What's going on, everyone? Scout Army. This is Scout DFS bringing you another NBA Today podcast. I am FuegoSteve, joined as usual by JaguarLou, who we'll get to in a second, and special guest today, Goudsaab. What's going on, brother?
Doing good, Stevie. How are you?
Great. Glad to have you back on. It's been a while. We just keep missing each other. Lou, what's going on today? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Fuego, because we are Rhode Island born and we're Rhode Island bred.
Your team's doing good, huh?
Team, baby. Tomorrow night, going for 15-0 in the conference, or 14-0 in the conference, 15-0 overall. I am souped to be a roadie Ram right now.
All right, there you go. I was watching some college basketball this weekend. It was pretty good. You gotta keep these guys in the back of your mind for next year DFS. But we are talking NBA today, and we have a short 6-game slate. It's one of my last few chances to try to qualify for the beautiful Springfield, Mass trip that Lou refuses to come with me, even if I qualify.
Fuego, I'm gonna hook you up with a nice connect. That'll get you into the nicest restaurant in town, which I believe is Olive Garden.
Arby's.
If you want to get a VIP tour of the beautiful mansions of Madame Goodell or something, she was the nicest lady in all of town. There's a museum in the center of town. It's very nice.
Well, just keep in mind, I will go with you to LA, so I have no problem.
We're all going to LA. Goudsaab, me and you, and we're gonna have to bring a couple others. We'll get McJester over there too if he's not over there already.
There you go. So we're going to talk. We'll start off. Guys, feel free to mention DK prices or plays on DK. I'm going to go through FanDuel pricing. We got Steph Curry, who I'm not rostering right now. I just can't do it. He has not been hitting these ceiling games. 37, 36, 37, 38, 38, 20. Those are his last 6 games. He had hit 66 before that. But I'm not banking on that 66 tonight, even against Phoenix. So I don't think I'm going to roster him. Rubio's questionable again. He was out the other day, right? So we got to see you there. Spencer Dinwiddie, who I do like at 7,500. Start us off, guys. Tell us who you like at point guard.
Steph Curry is his price is cheap on DraftKings. It's 9,900. He is less than 10,000, and probably he'll be decent own today on the 6-game slate on that massive score. I think he'll be owned, but I don't think I'm going there. If I'm paying anyone from that game, it's going to be Kevin Durant, so I'm not paying up for Steph Curry. So as you mentioned, Spencer Dinwiddie, then probably that's the guy I'm going to lock him in my both cash game lineups and even in my GPP. He's 6,400. He's cheap. He's been doing well in last 4 games or 5 games. But only worry here is the other guy, D'Angelo Russell. He started seeing good amount of minutes recently. So that's the only worry. But if he gets over 30, 32 minutes, I think at his price tag of 6,400, he should give you 6x easily. So I love Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, for sure. He's a little more on FanDuel at 75. So, but on DK, great. What about on the other side of that Curry game, Elf Payton? Would you go to him? And if not Payton, tell me some of the lower guys you would pay for, like maybe Anish Smith or Rajon Rondo put up a huge game the other day. Wasn't on the main slate, but he put up a triple-double, I think. Any of these lower guys you would pay for?
The other guy I have interest on is Donovan Mitchell going against Spurs. So after this Utah team traded away Rodney Hood, I think this guy has started taking more shots. Even with the second unit when he's playing, he started taking more shots. If you've seen yesterday's game, he was playing out of the books. Even Dame appreciated this guy, and he suggested he should be the rookie of the year. The way he's playing, I think I don't mind paying up 7K for him on GPP. And especially in GPP, he'll be low owned. People look at the score; it's less than 200. They think, okay, why should I pay 7,000? Why not go for 6,400? So definitely, Donovan Mitchell is a good GPP play.
Man, I like that price at 7,000. He's a point guard on DraftKings, shooting guard on FanDuel, but definitely if Rubio's out, I liked it. I played him last night, a little underperformed, but that price is right on DK. I like putting him at shooting guard on DK personally, and throwing in a point guard with him. Lou, tell me who you like today at point guard. Would you pay down for Austin Rivers? You going back to Rondo like we did the other day? You paying up for point guard? What are you doing, Lou?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say I agree with the Spencer Dinwiddie thing. Perfect price, nice floor, nice ceiling, good matchup and Testadik. Lock him in there. Now, the only other thing that I'm looking at is there's really two games that I'm looking at for my other point guard plays. New Orleans Pelicans, Detroit, and Orlando, Chicago. Oh my God, here's my food. I told you it would freaking. All right, set him up.
That's all right. Lou's going to get his food while.
No. I'm here. I got it. I'm a multitasker. So we got the New Orleans Pelicans going up against Detroit. This is what strikes me from this game. And the only thing I'm waiting on is making sure that Rajon Rondo doesn't go back to the bench. Rajon Rondo is a bad defender. Everybody knows that. And Ish Smith plays 30 minutes a game. That makes Ish Smith a nice play for me as a GPP. But if you look at the DBPs, let me find it right here. The Detroit Pistons, since Ish Smith has been starting, have been allowing a lot of points, specifically over the last 5. 53.7 points to opposing point guards over their last 5. And their season average is 38.3. And their last 10 isn't bad either. It's at 39.5. So there's a reason over their last 5 why they've been allowing massive points. And it could be that they've been seeing great point guards. I have to check that out. But Rajon Rondo has been playing particularly well. So when that starting lineup comes out, definitely take a look. If Drew Holiday is starting at the point, I would play him for sure. But Rondo's been putting great points up off the bench as well. So Rondo's a great play, as well as Ish Smith, but I think Rondo has the higher upside. Now, the only other game that I wanted to mention that Goudsaab didn't mention was DJ Augustine versus Jerry Grant. Augustine's been seeing minutes, but I don't like him today. I like Jerry Grant. Augustine's older, slower player, and I will be rostering Zach LaVine. I'll talk to you guys about that at shooting guard. Goudsaab and Fuego don't love his price, but I do think Jerry Grant could be a nice play against an older DJ Augustine that, isn't a bad defender, but he's in a little bit over his head, and you got a young player in Jerry Grant that I think could take advantage of him, and he's 6'4", opposed to DJ Augustine that is 6 foot, and he's got like 30 pounds on him.
Yeah, I don't mind Grant at all. I think you could even play him in cash at 6,500. Good price there on FanDuel. Chris Dunn's out again, so he should be handling most of the minutes there at point guard. You mentioned Rondo. I don't mind Rondo whether he's starting or not starting at 5,500. There's a lot of usage now. Okay, so with Boogie out, the Pelicans have a lot of usage out. You still have Anthony Davis. You have Mirotic now, who's been playing lights out. You've got Holiday at shooting guard, and you got Rondo point guard. The question is, who does it that night? Do they all do it that night? Because they do score a lot of points. So, the other day, Mirotic had 60 and Rondo had 60, I think, if he had 55. So there's lots of stuff to go around there. I don't mind Austin Rivers at 5,100.
Wait, really quick. If Rondo's starting, you want everyone else to be in a good matchup because that's when Rondo thrives. Rondo can get you 20 assists, and that's when he has the best games. When he has 20 assists, 7 boards, and 15 points or whatever. When everyone else has the good matchups, when he can dish it off to Mirotic and give it to Drew Holiday, those are the times that Rondo does the best, and that's when he's in the starting lineup. But off the bench, he does great as well, too.
Go ahead, Goudsaab.
No, I don't mind Rondo. That's a good call for sure. Nice pick and roll. Probably I'll play Rondo and Mirotic together. He's a good option. But Ish Smith, I don't believe Ish Smith has the same upside as before, like Blake Griffin came to this team. If you see his game logs, so last game against Hawks, you know, like Dennis Schroeder is the worst defender, and even against that Hawks team, he scored 10 points. He played 29 minutes, he scored 10. And in last 10 games, he scored over 30 only twice. I don't think Ish Smith has good upside at 5,800. Probably he's a like GPP flyer, I would say, but I wouldn't pay up 5,800 for Ish Smith in this matchup. But at the same time, I love Jerian Grant at 5,200, whatever. Lou has mentioned he's 5,200. He's cheap. He's going against Orlando. Like they're the worst defending team in this league. So I love Jerian Grant. And other thing on the DJ Augustine, I fucking hate that coach, man. Please, somebody fire that Orlando's coach.
Yeah, we never know what's gonna happen there, and then you got Shelvin Mack.
So I'm sorry, okay. Usually I don't use the F language, but if I'm saying F language, you just understand how I hate that Orlando's coach.
We've been instructed by one of our subscribers to say earmuffs prior to cursing. I don't know if you've ever seen what is that movie, Old School?
Yeah.
I think we got some kids in the background, so earmuffs.
No, I've never used the F language, but this coach sucks badly.
No, he does.
Yeah, man. It's like the new version of who was it? Jason Kidd or whatever.
Jason Kidd.
Yeah. All right. I think we've hit point guard pretty good. Anybody you guys need anybody we missed about shooting guard?
You were talking about Moutier before the show, Stevie. You want to go ahead and say your love about Moutier?
Well, I don't necessarily love him, but we got he's on the Knicks. He's only $3,700. He put up 29 points in 29 minutes last game. You know, if you were going to tell me he was going to put up 29 points again at 3,700, that's a steal, right?
But do you think he's going to get the minutes in this game?
I don't know. That's the problem, because you still got Jared Jack. You got, what's his name, Trey Burke. You got Frank Nidalinka. You got all these guys there. So that's the problem. If you have to tell me he's going to get the minutes.
The other thing is Courtney Lee's in a good matchup tonight, which kind of takes all those other guys out of play. I think when Courtney Lee's in a good matchup, they really feed him the ball a lot, and he's probably going to see JJ Redick, if I'm not mistaken, and he should dominate that match.
Well, it's interesting. Moutier, from my little knowledge of this group of point guards I just mentioned, probably has some of the best upside. You know, if you're guaranteeing the minutes, you know, so that's the thing. What's going to happen with are going to say, you know what, we like this guy, let's keep playing him instead of this revolving door at point guard. You're the Knicks guy, Lou. What do you think? You hearing rumblings?
You know, in terms of the Knicks, I'm just extremely confident in Hardaway. Well, actually, Beasley. And when Hardaway gets his freaking shot on, he has no problem shooting 20 times a game and making 3. His shot is so ice cold right now. But he has a great matchup today against Robert Covington, who's been allowing tons of points to people that are matched up against him. And Michael Beasley is just a great player. I think he could be, like, in certain situations, you could build a team around him.
All right, so you're staying away from the point guard situation, it sounds like.
I'm staying away from that, but really quick, I looked it up. Courtney Lee should be on Ben Simmons. They have Jared Jack on JJ Redick. Either way, I think you should maybe either stay toward Cantor, Tim Hardaway, and Beasley. Just keep in mind, Tim Hardaway, I don't know the exact stat, but he's been really ice cold lately. He can't hit a shot for his life. So you might want to stay away from Tim Hardaway. But he's being used, you know. He's on the court 35 minutes a game, and he takes a ton of shots. They're just not going down.
Right, and that'll lead us into shooting guard. He was, 3 of 10 from 3-point range, I think, the other day. 7 of 17 from the field, 4 of 14 from the field, 4 of 13 from the field. So you're right. He is 1 of 14, 1 of 10. Are you kidding me? I mean, he is pretty freaking cold. But we all know the ceiling.
He's the kind of guy that's going to keep shooting until he hits a 60-point ceiling.
He will keep shooting. We know that. You're going to mention to us how you like Zach LaVine. I don't like his price on FanDuel at 8,200. I mean, I could play Justin Holiday on the same team at 5,500 and maybe not have quite the highest ceiling. but I don't think I'm going to pay up for LaVine. Donovan Mitchell, you guys mentioned. I do like him. Drew Holiday, I like him. Lou Williams, I like at that price, still under 7,000 going against Brooklyn. You know he's going to keep shooting the ball. Klay Thompson, I don't mind. Lou, talk to me about some shooting guards.
Well, first of all, on a night like tonight, it's a 6-game slate or 5?
Six.
6 games. 6-game slate. I like some mid-range guys. I like Klay Thompson a lot. I like Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't see myself paying up yet for Kevin Durant. I have some plays around the board that will allow me to roster Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is 8,200. Yes, massively high. But he sat last game for rest. Let me make sure it was rest, actually. Well, regardless, he sat. He hit 30 minutes.
Yes, it was as part of his rehab. Yes. Mm-hmm.
31 minutes.
And this just in, Draymond Green ruled out, so that's good. We're good.
Okay, well now we have to roster Kevin Durant. So whatever I was just gonna say goes out the window. But you got to roster Kevin Durant now. But if you can figure out a way to pay up for Zach LaVine on DraftKings, do it. I guess you can't do it on FanDuel at 8,200. But past 4 games, 34, 40, 34, 47. And he's doing it in minimal minutes. He got rest the last game. He sees a great matchup against Evan Fournier. I can't see a safer matchup for Zach LaVine. He's bigger than Fournier. He's stronger than Fournier. They don't have a player to really match up against him. And I just think Zach LaVine's a lock for 35 points, which is very rare to say. I mean, I know you're paying 8,200, but yeah, now that doesn't really matter because you got to get Kevin Durant in your lineup, and I'm going to be rostering Klay Thompson as well.
All right. Besides Klay or LaVine, any other ones you like? You mentioned Hardaway. Would you roster him in GPPs? What about Redick at 5,400?
I like Mitchell. I like Hardaway a lot. Klay Thompson was probably my favorite when I looked at the DVPs. With Devin Booker out, the Phoenix Suns are allowing the league's worst 59.4 points to opposing shooting guards over the last 4. And over the last 10, they lead the league with 56.2 points allowed to opposing shooting guards. So I do think you can roster Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson together. Steph's been ice cold, and if you want to hedge that lineup, you can include one with Steph, assuming he takes advantage of Elfrid Payton defense. But I do like Klay Thompson a lot going up against Josh Jackson. And TJ Warren is relatively a good defender, so if you want to fade Kevin Durant, I see kind of okay merit in it, but you kind of have to have Durant. But I do love Klay Thompson at his price.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of these mid-range players you can go. I'm not seeing any great value. What do you think, Goudsaab? Who you like as shooting guard?
Oh, for sure, I'm locking in Klay Thompson today in this game, in this matchup against Golden State. He's cheap. He's dead cheap at 6,300. For a player of his caliber who's going to take so many shots, I think at 6,300, he should be locked in your GPP for sure. If it's not for Klay Thompson, I'm gonna go either with Fournier or Justin Holiday. Fournier is at 6,100. He's cheap too. He's going against Chicago and he's taking his own shot. So I don't mind Fournier at 6,100 and even Justin Holiday. He's still cheap. He's 5K. Player who plays more than 34 minutes. I think Justin Holiday, he should be in your cash game lineup too.
Yeah, you guys mentioned some DK prices. The guys are seem like they're cheaper on DK, even though it's still harder roster construction in general.
Just one thing here. For God's sake, don't pay up 8,200 for Zach LaVine on FanDuel, Louis. Please.
Yo, even Willie gives me like a little bit of a struggle back and forth. You just like threw me under the bus right there.
He said, "Don't do it, man."
Willie even like eases people into it. Like, I don't think Louis a good pick. But you were just like, God, please don't listen to Louis.
No, 8,200, Louis. 8,200.
I know he's at 8,200. But do you not like his matchup tonight? Do you not like his his recent.
But he's got to get
log,
38 for 6x.
No, I understand, but it's in a specific scenario where he could be low owned in GPPs because of his ridiculous price.
He should be,
and
yeah.
I do think he has a ceiling waiting to come out. He sat last game, which means if this game stays close, maybe they play him 35 minutes this game, and if he gets 50 points, and you get him at 2.3%, 2.5% ownership. And yes, you're paying $8,500, but let's say you like the rest of your team and you like some value. You like Klay Thompson. You like I don't know, Alan Crabb or some of these other guys.
Fair enough.
You can get him in there, and I think you can count on 35 points out of him at least.
Right. That's what I'd seen.
So are you saying he's going to give 6x?
He's not going to.
No, I'm not. But on a 6-game slate, if you like the rest of your team and you have 8,500 remaining, raw points mean something. And
right.
In terms of raw
and
points,
he could get 40 to 50. Yes, he could.
I think he can get 40 to 50 against a smaller Evan Fournier. And it would only be better if it was a bad matchup for Jerry and Grant, because I like Jerry and Grant as well. But I do like Zach LaVine today. I think the price is ridiculous, but if you happen to like the rest of your lineup, and also we'll talk.
And you made a good point about lower ownership because of his price. That most people are thinking what we're thinking. So you make a good point there for sure. Mitchell, I mentioned I liked Holiday, Lou Williams, Klay Thompson. You can play GPP cash, all of them. Fournier risky, but in play. Hardaway risky in play. For GPPs, Justin Holiday, I don't mind at 5.5, and I don't even mind Redick at 5.4. And you mentioned D'Angelo Russell getting a little more playing time. He's 5.4. He put up 37 FanDuel points in 31 minutes. Would you guys? What about Russell? Either of you?
I don't mind him in GPP. If I'm playing 10 lineups, probably I'll throw him in 1 or 2.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Maybe Danny Green at 4,400, but there's not a lot of punts I'm really seeing down here.
Wait for the news. I think if Tony Parker is ruled out, if DeJounte Murray is ruled out, then probably Danny Green at 4,500 is in play.
Okay, all right. Moving over to small forward, you guys mentioned Durant, 10.9 on FanDuel. You guys could tell me his price on DK when we get there. Then it drops down. TJ Warren, Gallinari, Josh Jackson has been playing really well. I think he put up 40 or 50 the other day. 50.9 FanDuel points in 39 minutes for Josh Jackson. And then Michael Beasley, who we've all been rostering with no Porzingis. Goudsaab, who you like at small forward today?
Kevin Durant for sure. Without Draymond Green, his rebound goes by 3. And his usage goes by 4. So his usage is around 28% right now without Draymond Green. So usually it is 25. So that's almost 3.5. And his rebound rate almost goes by 4 without Draymond Green on the court. 9,800, I think I'm going to play him today. After Kevin Durant, it's going to be TJ Warren. With Booker out, he's going to see a ton of minutes. I think I can play TJ Warren at 6,900. Even I think that 6K to 7K has a lot of value plays where you can just pick anyone and you can play them in your GPP. TJ Warren, Michael Beasley, Tobias Harris, Gallinari, Josh Jackson, even Hazonia at 5,600. I think you can pick any one of these guys and you can play them in your GPP. They're all good plays.
Agree. I don't mind Hazonia. He's 5.7 on FanDuel. I could even do Damari Carroll at 5.5. Beasley definitely 6.5. Is it a Kyle Anderson night? Goudsaab?
Not for me.
Okay.
There's only one guy from Spurs who I'm gonna play 80% of him, so no Kyle Anderson for me.
All right. Alan Crabb, Etwan Moore, any of these punt plays in play for you?
I don't mind Crabb.
Royce O'Neal.
Oh yeah, for sure. Wait for Rubio's news. If Rubio is out, then probably I'll have a lot of Royce O'Neal. I've seen his game yesterday. He's good. He is damn good. So I think I'm going to take some shots on Royce O'Neal.
33 FanDuel points in 33 minutes last time out at 3% ownership at $4,000. You gotta love that. He should be low owned again, but yes, if Rubio's out is where I like it. Lou, talk to me about some small forwards you like today.
Do you have the music yet for the Jaguar play of the day?
No, I don't.
The Jaguar noises. All right, so I have a GPP play. Granted, most of the offense.
That's perfect. We'll get a button for it. Go ahead.
We have to do it because this is my GPP play. It could win you a tournament, or it could lose you the lineup. But I think you should have at least one lineup with him. And considering you guys just went through the entire list and didn't even mention his name, means a lot to me. Now, granted, Detroit will score most of their points through Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, who are in good matchups tonight. But I'll tell you this, Stanley Johnson, with Reggie Bullock having to contain Drew Holiday, with Ish Smith not really scoring as much as he should be, and now teams are needing to figure out how to guard Drummond and Griffin together. And Drummond or Griffin should be occupied. One of them should be occupied with Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis does allow a lot of points on the defensive end. I like Stanley Johnson as a punt GPP play. This is what I see. His price is a little high on FanDuel, $5,900, but he is going up against a New Orleans team. Let me get these numbers here. They're allowing to opposing small forwards. I'm sorry, not New Orleans. Really quick, let me get this up. Hold on. Okay. So the New Orleans Pelicans are allowing 53.2 points to opposing small forwards since Anthony Davis has been playing. So over the last 5, since he's been playing center. Okay. Now, Reggie Bullock. And the last 10 aren't that great either. They're at 41.9. Reggie Bullock takes a lot of this offense. If Griffin or Drummond isn't dominating, Reggie Bullock's going to have to be on Drew Holiday, which will probably take a lot of his energy. Drew Holiday is a very talented player. Now, I'm waiting to see what this New Orleans Pelicans lineup is, because it would be great if Drew Holiday is running the point, Liggins is at the 2, and then maybe Stanley Johnson can go all day against Etuan Moore. But it's pretty clear Etuan Moore has been allowing a ton of points to opposing small forwards. And Stanley Johnson is the kind of guy that has been struggling, but he's always undersized. Tonight, Etuan Moore is 6'4", 190 pounds. And now you're going up against Stanley Johnson, who's 6'7", 235. For once in his freaking career, he's going to be he's going to be taller and bigger and have the advantage. And I think Stanley Johnson could be the centerpiece of this offense, considering teams are going to start to figure out how to focus in on. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
Centerpiece? You got Griffin and Drummond. They're not going to stop him.
That centerpiece word is a little too much.
No. I don't mean centerpiece, but I think they can feature him a lot tonight. And when you look at Stanley Johnson's ceiling, just 8 games ago, he had 49 fantasy points.
Yeah,
that was against Cavaliers. That was against Cleveland, Louis. Just don't forget that.
I know. But he went back-to-back against Cleveland, 32 and 49. He could be – I'm just saying, in one lineup out of 30, Stanley Johnson has a chance to do very well tonight. He had a lot of rest last game and with 19 minutes, but his minutes should go back up to the 30s today. And even as a safer play, I don't know what he is on DraftKings, but he does have a great matchup tonight.
All right. Who else
4,800. At 4,800, I think he's a good GPP play. I don't mind playing him.
Yeah, but at
on DK. But on FanDuel, I'd rather go Beasley or Zonia.
Oh yeah.
Yes, for sure. But on FanDuel, do you ever see when players' prices go up and they're way too high? Like, remember Maurice Harkless last week, and they end up playing well, and you're like, how the hell did FanDuel know that? That's why I feel like Stanley Johnson's so high right now.
All right, fair enough. Who else do you like besides Johnson? Small forward.
I think you have to have Kevin Durant in your lineup. Don't mess around with the power forward position. I think for Golden State, whatever it is, who do you think it's going to be? David West?
Looney.
I don't know. Rajon Bender's actually a pretty good defender. I'm just locking in Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson. And as for my number 2 small forward on FanDuel, players I will be looking at besides the almighty Stanley Johnson. I don't really like TJ Warren, Gallinari. Why not? I mean, these are all mid-range guys. I think Michael Beasley probably has the highest upside at 6,500. And yeah, if I had to go 600 more than Stanley Johnson, I'd definitely go Michael Beasley. I love him in the starting lineup. But just as a lower-owned player, I was mentioning Stanley Johnson. But Michael Beasley's a great player with Porzingis out of the lineup. And if Embiid is playing, Cantor is going to have all that he can handle on the defensive end of the court. So Beasley will have to step up. I do like Beasley today a lot. And when you go down, it's just a lot of mid-range guys. Yeah, I mean, no, I don't like anyone below Michael Beasley or, I can see, I wouldn't go Damari Carroll going up against Gallinari. That's a poor matchup for him. Robert Covington has not been playing well, and I do think he'll be seeing Tim Hardaway, so I wouldn't go there either. Hazonia becomes a fine play against Chicago, and like I said, Simmons, Hazonia, Stanley Johnson, Michael Beasley, and your search is there. I wouldn't go south of there.
All right. Moving over to power forward.
Couple of plays, Steve.
Yeah, sure.
Who are shooting guard eligible too, especially Manu Ginobili, the old man. If Parker is out, if Murray is out, I think he's in play at 4K. They don't have enough bodies to play. So I think Manu will get at least 24, 26 minutes. If he's going to take his shots, I think he's going to give you 6x value easily. So I don't mind playing Manu at 4. And with Draymond Green out, you've already mentioned about Kevin Looney, right? He's small forward eligible. I think he should see over 24 minutes. But he's dead cheap. He's almost the mint price on DraftKings. He's 3,200. So if you need a salary space, then probably you can play Kevin Looney at 3,200 too.
Right. I was going to mention him coming up at power or forward on FanDuel at 3,500 min price. You definitely could play him. Also, Davis Bertrands. We got Aldridge is out, right?
Yeah.
So we got Davis Bertrands at 3,900. You could play him at the lower end. At the high end, we have Griffin and Simmons 9,000. Reasonable prices on FanDuel for either of them. Goudsaab, are you paying up for either of those guys? Or you go drop into the mid-range?
I'm going to mid-range. I'm not paying up for you're talking about the power forwards, right?
Yeah,
I'm not paying up 11K for Anthony Davis. That's for sure. There's a lot of spots where who can give me a 6x value easily. Detroit, it's a good matchup, that's for sure. Detroit wings, like big centers against Detroit is a thing. But that 11,400 is a price, something I'm worried about. The 6x is almost 66 to 70 points. I would say less than 50%. He gives you 66 points. So I'm not going to Anthony Davis there. So I would rather pay up for Nikola Mirotic at 7K. Nice pick and roll option. If you're playing Mirotic, I'll try to fit in Rondo and Mirotic together in my lineup. There's good correlation between these two guys. So I'll have both Rondo and Mirotic together if Rondo is starting. If not, as I've already mentioned, at small forward, I don't mind TJ Watt and Beasley, Harris, even Laurie Markkanen going against Orlando, who sucks. I don't mind all these plays. But the one play which I want to mention in quote-unquote is Saric. I think Embiid going to sit today. That's my gut feeling. This news may come out probably later today. Saric at 6,400, I think he should be a lock. I'm playing him a lot. I have at 70% exposure right now out of 150 lineups. If the Embiid news comes out, then probably I'll increase his exposure, but I love Saric at 6,400.
Yeah, I always have a sucker for him, and his price is better on DK. He's up to 7-1 on FanDuel, but definitely if no Embiid, he's in play. Mirotic, I like 7,000, Markkanen 6,600. Bobby Portis 6'3", you could even go to, or you could go back to Derek Favors at 5'5". After that, it gets muddy until you drop down to the Bertrands and the Looney. So if I'm either going to punt with Bertrands, Looney, Jay Crowder, I don't know. Montrezl Harrell, Quincy Acey. There's some punt plays as opposed to this $4,000 range. I'm not really into Marquise Chris tonight. No Dragon Bender for me, David West. So I'm either going in that mid, up, or low range. Lou, what are you doing at power forward?
The Clippers are showing horrible DVPs to opposing power forwards. That's because of Tobias Harris's recent arrival. I'm trying to determine whether Damari Carroll is going to be on Tobias Harris or Joe Harris. Either way, I'm not. I have to figure that out. Those aren't power forward plays either way. What I wanted to say was if Joel Embiid is out, I think Ben Simmons becomes my FanDuel power forward play of the day, just because he gets those rebounds and the coach does want him to be more aggressive, especially when Embiid is out. So I do like Ben Simmons tonight if Embiid is out. Other than that, I like Blake Griffin. I don't think I agree with the Mirotić play, to be honest. I have a rule where I don't roster players against Blake Griffin. I know his DVPs are a little higher now against power forwards because he's doing a lot on the offensive end, but I get a little scared with players playing against him in foul trouble. I could think about Mirotić just because his price is so reasonable and he does have some nice game logs, but I do get very scared with those floors at 20 and 12, but the 61 and 48 surrounding those are very appealing. Other than that,
pretty weak position, I think, tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think I'm looking at Bobby Portis. I mean, he had that 50-point game, I guess, or 45. I don't really like him tonight, I guess. I like Markkanen better against who's Jonathan Simmons going up? Because Jonathan Simmons can allow a lot of points. They have Markkanen going up against Hazonia and Simmons going up against LaVine, so that backs my LaVine pickup even more. But I could see you going either. This is kind of the position where if you do multiple lineups, just have a core and leave these power forward positions open, and maybe just rotate them a little bit. I guess you can consider Derek Favors for safety, but I don't know. It's a really weird position. You might actually want to go down to Kevin Looney. It could be is Kevin Looney a power forward or?
Yeah, he's both on DK. Yeah. He's power forward on.
You know what? You might want to bite the bullet and just go down to Kevin Looney at 3,500. Because it's such a weak position. You might as well take a chance at a low player than go high at I don't even think I would go. I mean, Blake Griffin and Ben Simmons obviously are safe, but they're so expensive to the point where you can't even consider them. And I like Nikola Mirotić, but like I said, Blake Griffin is the worst matchup ever. So I don't know. And Saric is a great play, but I would probably try everything in my power to get Ben Simmons in my lineup on FanDuel if Joel Embiid was out.
All right. Yeah, it's pretty weak position. Mix and match, pick and choose, pay up, pay down. You could do Bertrands and Looney and do what you want elsewhere if you really wanted. But I could see the merit for paying up for Simmons or Griffin just because it's a weak position.
What about Tobias Harris?
Yeah, I'm going to have to think on that.
I mean, because Damari Carroll's not the defender that he once was, even if he is on him.
Yeah, I mean, I like the minutes. I don't know yet with this how he's handling. I could play him. It's a weak position. I could play him. Yeah.
Well, Goudsaab, what do you think about Tobias Harris? Because I was about to mention DeAndre Jordan as my lock of the day at center. Would you play DeAndre Jordan and Harris together? Is there bad correlations there? Or
No, not at all. See, the problem with Tobias Harris is at 6,600, he doesn't have much upside, Louis. The ceiling he can give you is 42, right? That's almost how much? 6x, 7x max. And the other thing is, if you're paying up 6,600 for Tobias Harris, why don't you find the 300 more, and why not you pay for TJ Warren, who's going against Golden State and who's got a ceiling? Saric, yeah, 6,400.
Yeah.
Even Gallinari at 6,300, who started seeing good 32, 33 minutes, right? I don't see much upside for Hardis, so I don't think I'm going to play him today.
All right, that's there's your take on the Tobias Harris.
I agree. I agree with that. I think, and Tobias Harris isn't the same in this program, and I do think DeAndre Jordan has a great game today. Do you agree with that, Goudsaab?
Yes, for sure. At 7,200 on DK, oh yeah, for sure.
All right. Speaking of center, we'll jump in. Anthony Davis, 11-7 on FanDuel. Then Drummond, he's going against tonight, 10-8. I think I'd rather just play Drummond, to be honest with you. Embiid, I like if he's playing. Pay attention. We got the call here that we think he's going to be out, so but pay attention to that. DeAndre Jordan, 7, then it drops off to this under 8,000. Jordan, Gobert, who I like, Enes Kanter, I like at 7. Then it drops off to under 6,000. So there's basically a couple tiers here. You're either paying up for one of these big three, you're paying in this middle range in the 7,000, or you're dropping down and you're punting with somebody in the 4 or 5 range. Goudsaab, what you doing?
So I'm going to tell you my favorite 2 players who are going against each other. One is Pau Gasol, another one is Gobert. So I'm going to lock him Pau Gasol. I probably have 100% of him in all of my 150 lineups. I'll not even build a hedge lineup. So I'm going to lock in Pau Gasol at 48.
Don't do 100%.
I'll take it. I'm willing to lose. If I lose, okay, I'll take I'll tell you the stats. Without LaMarcus Aldridge on the court, short sample size, this guy scores double-double, that's for sure. And his rebound goes by 4, and his assist goes by 4.2, and his point scorage goes by 5.5. So this guy scores double-double whenever LMA is not on the court. And he's 4,800. And he's over 28 to 30 minutes when LMA is not on the court. 4,800, any player who plays 29 to 30 minutes with that much double-double upside, I think I'm going to lock him in today. If he doesn't give me that double-double, or if he doesn't give me that 30 points, I'm going to take my L today.
I fucking love it. I love those stats. All those stats made perfect sense. They rested him last game, 10 minutes against Golden State. Goudsaab, I love that play.
All right. I liked it, but I guess I'm going to have to get on board loving it. But I like Gobert on the other side, too. But Louis, who do you like?
Well, I was going to just mention DeAndre Jordan, the safety there. But now, all those stats considered, I love Pau Gasol tonight. He is so much more than a point per minute guy. If you ever seen him, like, you blink your eyes and
he's 1.15 fantasy points per minute this year, and he's 1.20 in last 1 month fantasy point per minute.
He gets the assists too, which are pretty cool. They feed it to him. If you ever watch the game, they feed it to him in. He'll get the blocks, he'll get the rebounds. And when they give it to him in the post, he'll either take it in or he'll give a perfect pass to somebody at the 3, and which really gives him just at least a point on every single possession, which is really great, which is why you see him produce so highly in such small minutes. Other than that, I just love DeAndre Jordan's safety. I'll just mention a couple stats. Centers. Brooklyn Nets over the last 5, aka since Jared Allen has been starting, have been allowing 57.2 points to opposing centers compared to their season average of 39.6. The Nets are having a real problem guarding centers. I was at the game. I saw most of it. I was with the girl. She made me leave before the double overtime, and I'm still upset about it. I talked to Fuego about this. I'm trying to calm down doing meditation, but I did see the Nets struggle heavily against the center position. Anthony Davis really took them to what's this thing? Took them to the cleaners. But DeAndre Jordan is very tall and very big, perfect center to take advantage of this Brooklyn team. And if you have the money, you can probably count on 40 points from him, whether you're on FanDuel or DraftKings, but more on FanDuel. He'll get the blocks, he'll get the steals, and he'll get a ton of boards. I'd say 20 plus tonight.
Would you guys play Drummond or Davis?
Too expensive right now. I can't tell which one's going to go off.
You can play Drummond on GPP, Stevie, but not Davis. 11-4 is a little too much for him.
Yeah, he's 11-7 on
but he's got good stats against Detroit. I was looking at his previous stats against Detroit. he's got good numbers against Detroit. He averaged at least 60 points against Detroit in last 4 or 5 games. So he's got good stats. But that 11-4, I don't think I'm going to pay that much price for Davis on this slate.
Okay. All right.
But I completely agree with Louis on DeAndre Jordan. I think he's going to eat Jarrett Allen alive today. At 7,200, Allen cannot do anything on court when DeAndre Jordan is playing. He's got good upside today. I think he can give you even 50. I'm not even surprised if he goes for 50 today.
Goudsaab, are they gonna do that thing? What is it you told me once? The Nets do this thing where they make you go small. They did it with Canner once. Can they do that with DeAndre Jordan?
I don't think so, Louis.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's already got that shortish stature. Yeah.
Well, I don't really understand what they really did with that, but you warned me of it once, and I played Cancer in a great spot.
The reason was it's a size match, right? But DeAndre Jordan is big, and they want to match him with either Jarrett Allen or the other guy who comes from the bench. So I think DeAndre Jordan is going to eat Allen alive today. I think on the other side, Okafor. On the other side, don't play Jarrett Allen today. I don't think he's got much upside.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and don't play Okafor. He's been getting fouls galore this week. He got like 4 fouls in 3 minutes the other day. It was ridiculous. Okafor is not a viable backup big man for them right now, I don't think. I think they just use him to like eat up some fouls and like, waste time.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to wrap up? Anything you want to point out, Lou? First, anything?
Oh, we are Rhode Island born and we're Rhode Island bred. And when we die, Rhode Island, baby, tomorrow night against Richmond. Let's go. We got to get this bid. We got to get to the Final Four. And I have a ticket for the Rhode Island Rams to win the whole thing. 700 to 1 odds. Let's go, baby.
There you go. Did you put $1,000 on it?
Yeah, right. No. I would never bet on Rhode Island, man. They're my team. I've been with them since we've been horrible for a while when I was there. And now we got Dan Hurley, came from Rutgers, and I couldn't be happier that my team's killing it.
All right, well, good luck to them. Goudsaab, any final thoughts? We appreciate you joining us again today.
Sure. I think we forgot to mention a few plays. Just look out for Tyson Chandler news. If Tyson Chandler does not play today, lock in Dragon Bender. At the same time, Zaza Pachulia at 3,500, he's in play. If you see his stats, in all the pace-up game spots, he performed well. He give you at least 6x, 7x. At 3,500, I think he's in play. Even Robin Lopez going against Orlando, he's 4,200 and he's playing over 28 minutes. He's in play. So these are all value cheap plays at center. And the last thing is play Paul Gasol, lock him in. After he gives you 6x, you can just thank me later.
All right, fair enough. I just hate going 100%. That's up to you if you take that risk. I can't. Oh, we just got, as you said, Tyson Chandler will start Monday.
Okay, then fade Dragon Bender.
Yeah, and I wouldn't play Chandler either. Would you play Chandler 4,400?
No.
Yeah, no. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's edition of NBA Today, brought to you by Scout DFS. For Goudsaab, for JaguarLou, I'm FuegoSteve. Get that money. Peace.
Good luck.